What's going on, guys? Ronnie here with the Local Losers. Bo's behind the camera. He's going to be asking some questions. We are, I don't 100% know, but we're kind of like going over everything and talking about wiring on the BRZ. It's been a while since the last update. A lot of things have changed. Some things are pretty permanent. The motor's in pretty permanent. Transmission's in permanent. So we're really moving along. It's wired up. If you guys watched our shorts, you've been seeing that we've been working on that. There's a few things left.
Totally wired up. Check it out.
Yeah, that's a extra sensor plug, so it doesn't need to be wired up. And then we have our intake air temp and our fuel pressure, and that's all that's left. And the fuel pump, the fans, but the fans don't need to be there to run. None of this is needed to make.
Is the underglow wired up? No, that's all that matters.
That is not wired up.
Lame.
So let's just do a quick run over of what's going on here. So NZ6 or whatever the fuck this chassis is called, I don't know. First generation BRZ.
Is that what this chassis is called?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
New Zealand 6. Let's go.
This is a 3UZ from a 2001 Lexus LS430. The only way we know that is because they wrote it on the intake manifold, so good for us. This throttle body is from a 2006 LS430. The earlier throttle bodies, you can't wire up. Nobody understands how to make them work. So if you're doing this swap or you're putting this motor in anything and you want to keep drive-by-wire, you need a late model 3UZ throttle body. So we had to change that. We have a power steering delete because the BRZ has electric power steering. It's on the steering shaft. So you get this from XAT Racing. They sell that. They also sell an adapter plate. We have a Collins adapter. And there's some weird shit on that we're going to talk about. So we have a Collins adapter plate, uses the stock bell housing, CDO 9 or whatever version of the CDO transmission you have. This is a CDO A, so it's the latest model transmission. We have a shifter relocation thing. I don't remember where I got that, but I did get a shifter relocation. You can't see it because I put the interior back in, which is nice.
What?
Yep.
Awesome.
So yeah, can't see it. But anyways,
yeah, check
it's
out
right here.
Shifter relocation thing under the thing.
It's screwed in.
Okay.
But shifter relocation thing,
Trust us.
the hole's been cut out because the shifter does sit quite a ways further back. We're going to build a bracket to move this forward so our shifter can come out the correct hole. And that's really it. Custom drive shaft. Other than that, BRZ.
Where'd you get the drive shaft done? Up at Tucson Drive Shaft?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had them do it. We'll see how it is. So.
They did such a great job on the hard body drive shaft.
Well, they did a great job on my hard body drive shaft.
Right?
Weird. So we are running a Haltech 2500 Elite in this so that we have full control of the engine. So we have, it does 8 cylinders for spark and for injection. We're running their harness with their fuse box, but I didn't like their fuse box, so I bought this fuse box. And this is their harness. And we're gonna go over this list here. We're gonna show you guys this. So get that in focus. You guys can pause.
We can see through it a little bit. But
Can
it's
you
okay.
hear?
Yeah. Yeah, put it on you. Look how cute Ronnie is. That's not either of our handwriting. That's his wife's, because we both write like children. Nice.
So there, so you can pause and you can look at that. That's how this thing is wired up. Anything that is not already done. A few things. So there is a page, we'll link it down in the description. It's from Haltech, tells you all about this thing, how to wire it, pinouts, just so much good information. Then I'm gonna link a Google Doc as well down there that tells you the ECU pinout. We are running piggyback, so this car still has the factory ECU in it, and then it has the 2500 controlling the engine. They talk via CAN bus, which is a pretty simple thing to do. Behind the dash, if you pull the radio out, there's a plug. It's called the options plug. This plug has CAN bus coming to it, and then you can just buy a radio wire kit for this, and the speaker wire plug plugs into that option plug. and then you'll have 2 wires coming out that are your CAN bus wires.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
It's so nice because you don't have to like find them in the harness and like splice in. You can just plug in right there, boom, CAN bus wires.
Nice.
So you get those, wire those to the Haltech, tell the Haltech, hey, this is BRZ, and the Haltech says, okay, cool. So that's CAN bus, how you get it to talk. When you unplug this plug right here,
Let me go see this plug.
this is your main engine harness plug. There's wires somewhere that are grounds on this plug, and they ground the computer. We had the hardest time. We couldn't get the car to act correctly with the push button start. You would hit the button and the car would turn on, and you would hit the button and the car would never turn off. It would just stay like key on, engine off state all the time. Talked to a bunch of people, did a bunch of stuff. Well, it's because we weren't grounding the ECU through this plug. So what I did is I went and found all the grounds on the ECU. That Google Doc will have that on there for you. And then I grounded those to the chassis, and the car is fixed. The car works perfect. So we're gonna throw a battery in it and try to crank it over, see what happens.
Right now?
I think so. Well, maybe not right this exact second, but here in just a second.
Sweet.
We're gonna do that. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else we need to talk about. We showed you how it's wired over there, gave you that. So just pause on the video, look at that stuff.
I'm going to take a minute to appreciate this wide body kit.
Okay, do that.
And you think quietly so your voice doesn't mess up all this beautiful wide bodiness. This bumper looks so aggressive. I love it. Can't wait to see it on the car again.
So the alternator wiring I'm not done with because there's one wire that I don't quite understand. The BRZ, the computer, the ECU controls the alternator. On the Lexus, it seems like some of them, the computer controls it, and some of them just have a light on the dash that controls the alternator. And I don't exactly know what to do with that. So I have to do some more research and figure that out. But as far as the other wires go, they are the same on the cars. And so here's what you're gonna do. This is how it's gonna look. This is your plug. Orange goes here, red and blue goes there. These,
Stand by. I'm zooming in.
gotcha. These are the BRZ wires. So these are straight from the BRZ, repinned, slid into this connector, done. So take those two, put them there. This third one is going to be your control wire. That one's going to go to your light, or perhaps the purple wire, because the other wire would be purple, if the computer can control it. We don't know that yet. And that's how you wire the alternator. So I was told it will work this way. It just won't be controlled properly, which I would like it to do. I want this car to be as close to if it came like this from the factory. So that's how you wire the alternator. Then we have belts here, or not belts, hoses. This hose is the lower hose from the BRZ. And then we cut it and put it on here. So that's good. This is the stock hose that went over here on the BRZ. And then this hose is a Gates hose 22674.
22674.
And
Gates.
that makes this work.
Sweet.
So this is a Megan Racing radiator, whatever. It's like a 3 or 4 core radiator, better than stock. But, you know, whatever. But it's a stock location radiator. This is for stock BRZ. So if you have your stock hoses and you're trying to do a swap, the stock hoses should work. You shouldn't need anything crazy. We haven't done heater hoses yet, but they're very close. Right here are the two on the chassis. Right here and here are the two on the engine. So we just need like a 180 and then a 90. So we'll make those, and that'll be super simple.
Can we even see down in there? Probably
Yeah,
not.
I think so. Can you see that? Right there. Those are the two from the car.
Oh yeah, I
And
see
then
those.
Right here, this is motor. And the other motor one's back here. But really, this thing fits really well. It's pretty easy to work on. It's pretty easy to mess with.
Oh yeah, there it is.
It hasn't been much of a headache. One thing to look out for, I said we were going to mention this, and I forgot. So this is some bolts here, okay? This is the bolt that comes, that I got with my Collins adapter kit, okay? This bolt is a bolt that I bought. This is a different bolt that I also bought. I like these long bolts, but they're too long and you can't turn the engine over. It actually locks the engine up if you put these in here.
Oh.
This bolt goes in that far. That is it. This one goes in that far.
So that's the one you end up.
This is the one that we need. And I ended up going with a different one. You can see, trying to find, okay, so this guy right here. So this is the middle length one, and you can see that's how far it goes in. That's where the thread locker stops. That's it. This is the only one that works. I would not trust this thing with its 1 to 2 thread engagement. So.
And the short one came with the kit?
Yeah, I got the kit used.
Oh, okay.
So maybe the person bought the wrong bolts, but this is what you need. And I don't know the length of this, so we're gonna hit it with the mic so we can tell you guys how long it needs to be.
See if we can find the mic.
It's right here, because I've been using it. 49.87, so 50 millimeters is what you need.
Okay.
So make sure you get that, 50 millimeters. That's the length you need. That's the length that I'm comfortable with. That's the length that we're using. Ooh, almost pulled something off. Okay, put the battery in. Let's see what happens when we press the start button.
At this point, we just want the engine to turn over, right?
Yes, it's going to spray fuel. I know that for sure.
At me?
Somewhere up there.
Sweet.
I don't know where.
Let me step over here.
So here we go. Car should come to life. Oh no!
Well, the windshield wipers work and fuel just poured out into the engine bay.
The battery is junk.
The jump box was in the back seat of Ronnie's shit box over here.
Yeah. If anybody tells you they're not, they're lying.
I mean, you know, they're 90s cars.
90s Nissans at that. Okay.
All right, second try.
We got jump box.
Jump box is on.
Okay. This is the clutch. Let's see what happens. No. I didn't know worky.
Fuel pump works still.
Okay. So I forgot to plug in the starter solenoid.
It's fairly important.
So that would definitely cause it not to do anything. So here we go.
What? It sounded like the motor was turning over.
Did you hear that?
I heard that. That's exciting. I think everybody's excited. I felt one guy in the audience get hard.
So, yeah, it does stuff. We're super close. We have to wire those last few things up. Got to go through and tell the ECU what everything is, get a new battery, fluids, bleed the clutch, and then fingers crossed in the next episode. This thing goes
what? And we're going to drift it immediately.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Whatever.
Has to get tuned, has to get headers made, has to get exhaust done. Make sure it's not gonna overheat. Make sure the fans work. But yeah, it cranks over by itself. That's cool. That's pretty cool.
We had to open the shop because we were about to suffocate from the gas fumes. Normally it's one of my favorite smells, but that was a lot.
It was a lot.
Listen to Ronnie's right now on camera.
I'm dying.
Listen, if you're not subscribed to our channel and you're watching our videos, do
You're
that.
a bitch.
Subscribe. A, helps us out. 2, you'll see all the cool content. And D, it helps us out.
I feel like you went kind of off track there.
Whatever. Anyway, the BRZ freaking cranked over.
Yeah. All the
Right
sensors
on.
seem to be working. So we're moving along. We're getting close.
So run everybody back over. What's your plan for this car?
This is my favorite car I've ever owned. It's probably
So-
number 2, honestly.
So
number 2.
in stock form, Ronnie took this to the track. And how many laps did you get in?
It died immediately. Like
It died immediately.
5 tops.
He got like 4 or 5 laps
and I think
or
it was
something like
knocking
that.
for half of those.
But it was probably one of the best handling cars and easiest to drift cars that he's ever driven. So
They're such good
he's excited
cars.
to get it back on track. I mean, I assume it's the suspension setup, the chassis balance, the whole deal. They're super good. You know, people know this. Like, they're great to drift.
People hate on them so
It's crazy
much.
that you don't see more out there drifting.
I mean, I kind of understand, like, modern drifting mentality is stupid. It's, I need a handbrake, I need angle kit, I need fucking horsepower. If it doesn't do this, I can't do that, blah, blah, blah. Grow some fucking nuts and go kick the fucking clutch.
And learn how to drive.
Like, this car drifted amazing. We've drifted stock hard bodies, like completely stock hard bodies. And I still hear people to this day, oh, I can't go drift my hard body until I get a handbrake. It's like, dude, put a sway bar on it and weld the diff and quit being a bitch. Like, go slide the car. These slide amazing. I was so impressed, like, with this car. And it's the first car I ever slid. Like, that's a fact. First car I ever slid. It slid great. The Skyline slides great. The Skyline has, like, all this freaking horsepower. It's stupid. This thing,
Oh,
200,000 miles, 200 horsepower.
I had to back
great.
up. It's the first car you ever slid.
Yeah.
So, like, you were drifting trucks until you actually drove this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, all right. I was like, what?
Yeah, it's the first car I've ever drifted. And I don't know, like, people just hate on them. That's like the new fad on the internet, is to hate on FRSs and BRZs.
People hate on everything, though.
This is not like I've owned a bunch of cars, and I haven't owned a bunch of like super crazy cars or anything. But out of all the cars, and I promise you this, all the cars I've ever owned, this is the funnest car, bone stock.
You heard it here.
Like,
You heard it here, folks.
it's not even close.
Get an FRS, BRZ, GR86, whatever.
Yeah. I've had Miatas, had STIs, I got Skyline. Like, I feel like I have a decent little car knowledge. This car is great.
And trucks don't count. They're so weird and so different
don't
and
talk
so
about trucks.
hard to drive and drift.
We don't talk about trucks. But yeah, go buy one of these in stock form and learn how to drive with it, bone stock. Maybe put an angle kit on. They do have pretty weak angle from the factory. I think you could slide one just fine without it, especially learning.
Yeah, just control your right foot.
You
That's
know?
all. Just don't try to get all the angle.
I like angle.
I mean,
You know?
angle looks good.
I'm-
In some cases, like, you can't have too much angle. You
You
can't
can.
have too where it just doesn't look great anymore.
But what I'm saying is, like, if you're just starting out, like, you don't need an angle bod, you don't need a handbrake, you don't need any of that. Go slide the car. Put coilovers on it. If you really feel like you need to spend money not on tires, put coilovers on it.
Agreed.
That's all I have to say.
All right. Y'all have a great time.
Get
We'll
out
see y'all
of my
later.
face.